Atomic Habits is not just a book about habits, it is a complete system for transforming your life by changing small behaviors every single day. James Clear explains that success is not the result of one big decision or one dramatic change. Instead, success is the outcome of hundreds and thousands of tiny choices made consistently over time. These tiny choices are what he calls atomic habits. Just like atoms are the smallest units of matter that can create massive energy when combined, small habits may seem insignificant on their own. But when repeated daily, they compound into extraordinary results. Most people think that if they want to change their life, they need to set big goals. They say things like, I want to lose 20 kilos, I want to become rich, or I want to be successful. But James Clear argues that goals are not the key to long-term change. Systems are. Goals tell you where you want to go, but systems tell you how you will get there. If you focus only on goals, you may feel motivated for a short time. But once the goal is achieved or missed, motivation disappears. Systems, on the other hand, are the daily processes and habits that continue whether motivation is high or low. Winners and losers often have the same goals. But what separates them is the system they follow every day. One of the most powerful ideas in Atomic Habits is the concept of habit compounding. Just like money grows with compound interest, habits grow with compound improvement. Improving just 1% every day may not seem impressive, but over a year, those small improvements can make you 37 times better. In the same way, negative habits also compound. Skipping one workout, eating junk food once, or wasting time on your phone may not ruin your life in a day, but when repeated daily, these habits slowly pull you away from the life you want. The danger of bad habits is not one bad decision, but the direction they take you over time. James Clear explains that habits are the foundation of identity. Most people try to change their habits by focusing on outcomes or processes, but true change comes from identity. There are 3 levels of behavior change. The first level is changing outcomes, such as losing weight or earning more money. The second level is changing processes, such as following a diet or going to the gym. The third and deepest level is changing identity, which is about who you believe you are. Instead of saying, I want to run a marathon, you say, I am a runner. Instead of saying, I want to write a book, you say, I am a writer. When habits become part of your identity, they stick naturally because you are simply acting in alignment with who you believe you are. Every habit, according to James Clear, follows a simple 4-step loop: cue, craving, response, and reward. The cue is the trigger that initiates the habit. The craving is the desire or motivation behind the habit. The response is the actual behavior you perform. The reward is the benefit you gain from the habit, which teaches your brain whether the habit is worth repeating. Understanding this loop gives you the power to build good habits and break bad ones. To build good habits, James Clear introduces the 4 laws of behavior change. The first law is to make it obvious. Many habits fail because people forget or because the habit is not clearly visible. If you want to build a reading habit, keep a book on your bed or desk. If you want to drink more water, keep a bottle in front of you. One powerful technique is habit stacking, where you attach a new habit to an existing one. For example, after I brush my teeth, I will meditate for 1 minute. By stacking habits, you use existing routines as cues for new behaviors. The second law is to make it attractive. We are more likely to repeat habits that we find enjoyable or appealing. James Clear explains that dopamine, the chemical linked to motivation, is released not when we get the reward, but when we anticipate it. To make habits attractive, you can use temptation bundling, which means combining something you want to do with something you need to do. For example, you might listen to your favorite music only while exercising, or watch your favorite show only while doing household chores. This makes the habit more enjoyable and increases the chance you will stick to it. The third law is to make it easy. Most people think success requires motivation and willpower, but James Clear argues that environment matters more than motivation. We naturally follow the path of least resistance. If a habit is hard, we avoid it. If it is easy, we do it. To build good habits, reduce friction, prepare your gym clothes the night before, keep healthy food easily accessible, and simplify your routines. The goal is not to do something perfectly, but to make it so easy that you cannot say no. James Clear introduces the 2-minute rule, which states that any new habit should take less than 2 minutes to start. Reading becomes read 1 page, exercise becomes put on gym shoes, and writing becomes write 1 sentence. Once you start, it is much easier to continue. The fourth law is to make it satisfying. We repeat behaviors that feel rewarding. The problem with many good habits is that their rewards are delayed, while bad habits often feel good immediately. To overcome this, you need to create immediate satisfaction for good habits. One way to do this is by tracking your habits. Marking an X on a calendar or checking off a habit gives a small sense of achievement. Seeing progress visually reinforces the behavior and motivates you to continue. Never break the chain twice is another important rule. Missing one day is not a failure, but missing twice is the start of a new habit of skipping. Just as the 4 laws help build good habits, their inverse helps break bad ones. To break a bad habit, make it invisible, unattractive, difficult, and unsatisfying. Remove cues from your environment. If you want to stop wasting time on your phone, keep it in another room or turn off notifications. Make the habit unattractive by focusing on its negative consequences. Increase friction by making the habit harder to perform, such as uninstalling distracting apps. Finally, make the habit unsatisfying by adding accountability, like telling someone about your goal or using a habit contract with consequences. Environment design plays a major role in habit formation. James Clear explains that we are products of our environment more than our motivation. Small changes in environment can lead to big changes in behavior. If you want to eat healthier, organize your kitchen so that healthy foods are visible and junk food is hidden. If you want to be more productive, design your workspace to reduce distractions. Instead of relying on self-control, design an environment that makes good habits the default choice. Another powerful idea in Atomic Habits is the role of social influence. We tend to imitate the habits of those around us, especially the close, the many, and the powerful. If you surround yourself with people who value fitness, learning, or growth, those behaviors will feel normal to you. To build better habits, join a culture where your desired behavior is the standard. When a habit helps you fit in and belong, it becomes more attractive and easier to maintain. James Clear also talks about the importance of reviewing and refining habits. Habits can become automatic, but that does not mean they always lead to improvement. Reflection helps you stay aware of what is working and what is not. By reviewing your habits regularly, you can make small adjustments and avoid complacency. Mastery requires patience. Many people quit because they do not see immediate results, but habits often follow a delayed curve. Progress may be invisible at first, but if you stay consistent, results will eventually appear. One of the biggest challenges in habit building is boredom. Doing the same thing every day can feel repetitive. Professionals stick to habits even when they are not exciting. They understand that motivation comes and goes, but discipline and systems keep them going. The difference between experts and beginners is not talent, but the ability to stick with habits during boring phases. Falling in love with the process, not the outcome, is the key to long-term success. Atomic Habits teaches that you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. If you want better results, do not focus on changing outcomes, focus on changing your identity and your daily habits. Small habits, repeated consistently, can transform your health, career, relationships, and mindset. Change does not happen overnight, but with patience and persistence, tiny improvements can lead to remarkable results. In the end, Atomic Habits delivers a simple but powerful message. You do not need to be extraordinary to achieve extraordinary results. You just need to get 1% better every day. By designing better systems, shaping your environment, and building habits that align with the person you want to become, you can create a life of continuous growth and lasting success.